Hey Travis,
Hey Kiara,
what you doing?
we are checking some cells that we put in 2 days ago. This is a bulk B unit. These are cells that we grafted from a breeder queen that we got in an interesting way. A friend of a friend, that person's wife, is a realtor, and she was selling a house, and the person who was selling the house, or owned the house that was going to be sold, that person had a bunch of old bee equipment in the backyard that he hadn't used in about 7 years. And the person selling the house, we got good hits here. The person selling the house said he wanted to get rid of the bee equipment too. So the realtor was like, well, my husband might be interested in it. So they went there. He wasn't a beekeeper, but he was just curious. So went there to look at it. They got some old boxes and extractor, and they went to in the backyard, looked at the old boxes, and all of a sudden they realized there were bees flying out of them. And these are just boxes that were sitting on a pallet, and it was overgrown with all this foliage, and there were like woodpecker holes in it, and so they were excited, but they didn't know what to do. So they eventually got in touch with us, and we came over there to look at it, and it was a beautiful little colony. Kiara and I, we tore into it, and we found the queen, we marked her, we separated her, we cleaned up all the equipment, gave them a bottom board, and we came back a few weeks later to see how it was building up, because it was a small little cluster that had come through winter beautifully. It had tons of honey. We had more honey than it needed. We actually gave the family a bunch of the frames of honey, and they extracted it, and we're excited. But we came back just now a few days ago. I looked at the hive, and this is a hive that's gone unmanaged for who knows how long, but definitely it went through the winter. I mean, potentially it could have been there for a couple of years, but it could have swarmed into it last year. But the person who owned the equipment hadn't worked with the bees for 7 years. So either way, those are characteristics that we look for. Hives that are obviously mite tolerant because they hadn't been treated, and you know, we want to if there's favorable genetics out there, we want to get them into our system, and we want to test it through our apiary. So we're going to try out these daughters